took a meeting from last week to this week due to unforeseen circumstances, personal circumstances that were involving people who are important to be here, okay? So I do apologise for that. In terms of the agenda then, questions and comments from members of the public. We've already received a handout. We will be asking the member of the public to speak to us in a moment. And if you could please just give us your name and sort of the area of visual and where you are from. Okay? And if you represent any particular organisation or group. Okay? Thank you.
My name's Helen from Bridgwater, and I'm retired.
Okay, can you put it so we can record it?
My name's Helen. I'm from Quayside in Bridgwater, and I'm retired.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm not a member of any group. And I'm the voice of all of us.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. The reason that we are here is that although these issues are national, it affects all of us, including all of you too. As some of you are also county councillors, we the people want you as our public servants to take this to county level on our behalf. The government has used the Localism Act of 2011 to clarify the rules on predetermination. These rules were developed to ensure that councillors came to council discussions with an open mind. Whilst we have been advised that this doesn't apply at town level, it is nevertheless important that we are all open-minded to seeing new and existing evidence. With the spirit of this at the forefront, and that you put to one side your cognitive dissonance and biases that we all have, we ask that you listen to and hear the information and questions that we have for you all, and we thank you for this. Somerset declared a climate emergency in 2019. We would like to see the evidence provided to you that the climate emergency is a direct result, as we are constantly being told, of human activity. There is evidence that this, in fact, is not true, and we have provided a document by the World Climate Declaration for your perusal, signed by 1,500 professionals. In addition, a letter from a further 500 experts to the United Nations say there is no climate emergency. Carbon dioxide is an essential trace gas, essential for plant growth and all life forms, and making up 0.04% of our air. Linking CO2 to human activity is therefore questionable. We have an expert, Professor Ralph Ellis, on the climate, who has offered to come and speak with you all. Furthermore, we are told that July the 6th, 2022 is the hottest day ever. The Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and geological records show we are living in one of the coolest periods of its history. Also, the well-documented medieval warm period, circa 900 to 1300, was warmer than today. Oops, I forgot that period didn't happen, according to real climate change deniers at the IPCC. We've got to get rid of the medieval warm period, said one. We also request that you, as free-thinking individuals, do your own extensive research, which includes exploring the science from both sides, and more importantly, who funds this science. It could be suggested that the alleged human-made climate emergency is being used as a tool for a top-down corporate agenda of control and money-making, and as such, we want to know if Bridgwater and Somerset are planning any of the following initiatives in the future. Number one, the use of technology, for example, surveillance. Vehicle number plate recognition, as an example, to find people for breaking potential restrictions. An example of this could be leaving your town for more than 100 times a year. Number two, the use of energy-intensive telecommunication masts. Leading on from the surveillance question, the recent ongoing rollout of 5G masts, as well as the street lighting, which is also 5G enabled. One 5G mast requires the same power need as 43 family homes. The street lighting has LED lighting, which has been scientifically proven to damage eyesight and is also 5G enabled. Why do street lights need to be 5G enabled? Ours independent research by us and many around the country and world suggests that 5G is for an artificial intelligence or AI future for which we do not consent. This ongoing electrification of our town and other towns is adding to the temperature increases by around 1.5 degrees Celsius. Number three, usage of cars and other vehicles. The word cars had the word toxic added to it. For example, the addition of the Bridgwater Mercury, in which proposals for the celebration mile were discussed, included the phrase toxic cars. This phrase has also crept into mainstream media. Electric cars are being pushed to replace petrol and diesel. It has been argued that in the rush to replace fossil fuels, no one looked further than the exhaust pipe of electric vehicles. The lithium batteries are highly flammable, emit radiation, and use child labour in poor countries to mine the lithium and cobalt needed for these batteries, which are not recyclable and in some cases uninsured AI future for which we do not consent. This ongoing electrification of our town and other towns is adding to the temperature increases by around 1.5 degrees Celsius. Number three, usage of cars and other vehicles. The word cars had the word toxic added to it. For example, the addition of the Bridgwater Mercury, in which proposals for the celebration mile were discussed, included the phrase toxic cars. This phrase has also crept into mainstream media. Electric cars are being pushed to replace petrol and diesel. It has been argued that in the rush to replace fossil fuels, no one looked further than the exhaust pipe of electric vehicles. The lithium batteries are highly flammable, emit radiation, and use child labour in poor countries to mine the lithium and cobalt needed for these batteries, which are not recyclable and in some cases uninsurable. In addition, the purpose of electric cars is because electricity supply is centrally controlled and restrictions and rationing can be imposed easily. Furthermore, the range of electric vehicles is highly dependent on the extension and existence of the electrical grid. The primary target of the autonomous vehicle is the restriction of movement of the citizens, keeping the masses well within the big habitats, locked or unlocked. Number four, restriction of traffic, movement and parking in and around Bridgwater. It has been noticed that the flower planters outside Prezzo's have appeared, similar in other towns, which have then been used to block roads leading to emergency services, an ambulance in this case, being unable to access a building. Witnessed on video, the ambulance drivers blocking members of the public having to move the planters. Furthermore, a conversation with a Thornbury resident led us to finding out that more than 70% of small businesses in the town have closed following the implementation of what is known there as a low-traffic neighbourhood. Number five, finally, public consultations. Are all the tax-paying residents of Bridgwater to be consulted on all future changes in the town? Less than 500 people replied to the public consultation about Bridgwater's celebration mile, out of a population in excess of 40,000. How does this figure, which equates to approximately 0.01% of the population of Bridgwater, give a consensus to this proposal? How were all residents notified of this public consultation? We suggest that this did not happen. Not everyone reads the local press or avidly researches the town and county websites. It seems that only a few certain groups and or establishments were notified, for an example, Bridgwater College. We suggest that it is your duty to write to every tax-paying person in the town when providing public consultations. We also suggest that when presenting evidence to the public, that both sides of the evidence are presented in a factual, non-biased way, so the public can make a thoroughly informed decision. It has also been noted that it's not easy to find information on the Council's websites. The Localism Act 2011 quotes, "Local residents to call local authorities to account for the careful management of taxpayers' money," and places significantly more influence in the hands of local people over issues that make a big difference to their lives. For further information, there are two acts that are still in place legally. The 1689 Bill of Rights, to protect the people from any potential future tyrannical behaviour by any authority, and the 1707 Act of Unity, the freedom of the people of this country to freely travel on any public highway throughout the UK. We would like to thank you for your time and would like to arrange a further meeting when you can come back to us with your findings and answers to our questions, so we can all work together with this. Again, we ask you to all follow the spirit of the Localism Act and keep an open, unbiased mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that and for your providing us with the outline of your speech as well. We will take this back into the council and we will respond to you. It might have to go to certain committees within the council and at the same time we will give you a response to the questions that do apply to the council as well, because you do mention other and there are other authorities now, Sunset Council, who also have a responsibility for some of the events that you referred to within the paper. Okay, but can I thank you for the work that you put in for this and for the way that you presented your points as well for us to consider. Thank you very much. I don't know if you wish to stay for the rest of the meeting or were you just here for that?